We're at the tail end of the Text Across Domains conference here. We've got computer scientists and computational linguists, sociologists, all working together to figure out how are we going to dig into text, to figure out what's going on with society, and maybe try to make it a better place. Right over here, we've got folks working on the Capital Query project. This is a project where we're showing people how to go into the internet, find these open data sets, and then pull them together into a database that's a queryable database, so we can start to learn, in this case, what are our Congress members up to. So let's go have a talk with them and see what they're working on. So here are some of the folks from the Capital Query project.
We're trying to figure out exactly what the data structure is that our parser comes back with when it goes through a hearing. So there's some cleaning we have to do.
So we're going through and we're recovering some amount of information about what the output data is for the parsed congressional records into a discourse structure of committee members talking to one another about this or that.
So in a lot of ways, Jake, you kind of kicked this project off, but it's been your baby for the last little while, Johannes. What have you been up to with the project lately?
We tried to add it, so what Jake did initially, he parsed the hearings themselves, so the speeches as they were recorded. What we found in the meantime is that there is also some metadata that's published for every speech, and we try to integrate the two. And this is why I have to understand the data structure of the baby, so my baby.
Okay. Together. Oh yeah, we're gonna get the babies
family
together. All right. Well, thanks for sharing your work with all of us. We'll let you get back to it.
We're gonna leave a few more breadcrumbs this time.
Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna go check out the Text Thresher project and see what they're up to.
Hey,
What's going on?
we are going through we're discussing a bug in the NLP hints algorithms right now.
Oh, is this the when bug or the where bug? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the one bug.
The when bug. Okay. What are you working on, Jasmine?
Nothing right now. I was working on helping to load in the deciding force articles, but after loading them in, I haven't really been up to much.
Well, it's finals week, right? What about you, Flora? What's the latest?
Yeah, so I've been working on a bunch of Django stuffs in the backend, and also recently I'm also working on doing some UI related things. So yeah, just writing some JavaScript in React to help make the user experience for researcher and users better.
Cool. So I want to give you a little more background on the Text Thresher project. So this is mass collaboration software that allows a researcher like me to enlist the help of hundreds or thousands of people out on the internet to work on a research project where we're digging into documents and we're seeing into those documents the way that a sociologist would see into those documents. So, we've got a record of everything humans have been up to since we've been writing. And we have all these social theories about how humans interact, how we work together economically, politically, socially, like the symbolic interactions between us, even in a conversation. And if we can apply all that theory to all of that textual data, we can get a real handle on what we humans have been up to, at least since we've been writing language down on paper. So the project, what it does is it allows me, a researcher like me, to specify my whole conceptual scheme, and then all the people who are helping me on the internet, they're labeling the documents the way that I would label them. And we can take those labels, we can feed them into all the advanced algorithms and machinery that exist today, and actually start to build an artificial intelligence about what humans are doing in whatever particular domain our documents describe. We're using Text Thresher on one project that's looking into newspaper data about all of the Occupy movements that occurred back in 2011. There were 184 of these different movements, and we have over 8,000 articles describing all the ways that police and protesters interacted. Now, I can put my very intricate dynamic theory of police and protester interaction straight onto those documents with the help of all you folks out on the internet. And then we can start to see the sequences of interaction that lead to violence or negotiation or anything in between. At Goodly, we're also using Text Thresher for the Public Editor project. Now, this project has people reading through the daily news, and they're looking for evidence of misinformation, things like argumentative fallacies, or failures of scientific inference, or psychological biases. Essentially, scientists over the last few centuries have figured out all these different ways that we fool ourselves as humans. And what we're doing with the help of all you people out on the internet is that we go through and we label the words and phrases where an author is basically committing one of these fallacies or leading us down a stray path, whether they intend to or not. So working together, we can actually start to build credibility scores for news articles. You'll open up your news feed or you'll do a Google search, and right there next to the link for each news article will be a credibility indicator saying that like you can trust this article or not. And then when you read through the article, you can see particular labels from your peers out in the community that are letting you know which parts of it are fishy, which parts of it should maybe raise a red flag. If we're going to put our heads together and build the sort of future we want, it really depends on you. So please do what you can. Share our website. That helps a lot. Or join our Facebook page. It might seem trivial, but there are 2 billion people on Facebook. That's a lot of people who could potentially help. Maybe you'll want to actually volunteer. So the Deciding Force Project is accepting volunteers right now, and Public Editor will too. You could actually be one of the people reading through the news, helping us get our heads around what exactly we're doing on this planet. And then finally, it'd be super helpful if you can refer us to any of your friends in large foundations with a lot of resources. Right now, we've got data scientists, social scientists, and software engineers, and even support staff that we really need to scale up, because we're a totally volunteer effort at the moment. We've got 60 different people who are putting in nights and weekends, and we're all ready for this to take off. All we need is your help.